It was Captain Raymond Bottenfield's day off. He was only on the Santa Monica College campus for a meeting at the police department, and when he ended up in the middle of a nightmare, he decided to run toward the danger instead of away from it.
Shooter, multiple victims down.
He heavily armed himself and he was ready for battle.
Not running around, not yelling, just looking around for targets very casually.
June 7th, 2013. A gunman goes on a shooting rampage in Santa Monica, opening fire inside a home, killing his father and brother.
A man wearing all black clothing and tactical gear leaves this house.
He then jumps inside a car, forcing the driver to take him to Santa Monica College.
There's all this chaos going on in the city. Nobody knows what's going on.
Captain Raymond Bottenfield was one of 3 officers on campus when the shooting began.
We heard numerous shots fired. It was obvious it was rifle fire, and probably the most terrific crash I'd ever heard in my life.
Driving to campus to buy textbooks.
2 victims were shot as they drove past the gunman, crashing their car into a brick wall.
Well, that was my friend Carlos and his daughter. Carlos was one of the groundskeepers for the college.
With his adrenaline pumping, Bottenfield and the other officers continued their search, hearing shots in all different directions.
We're getting word now over the city police radio and by people running by us saying the suspect is headed towards the library. As we start getting closer that way, we hear another shot.
Bottenfield believes that was the shot that killed another person he knew.
We had a lady named Margarita, probably about 69, 70 years old, who used to come on our campus every day and collect cans and bottles for her church youth group.
He says the woman was listening to music and had no idea what was going on.
And when the suspect came upon her, didn't give her a chance. Just pulled up his firearm and shot her once in the chest. Just dropped her right there like she was nothing.
With more lives at stake, Bottenfield says they couldn't stop to help her.
To bypass her and leave her there was probably one of the hardest things I ever did.
When they finally reached the library, they found the shooter.
And the gunman dressed in all black, wearing knee pads and a vest.
The suspect was standing there pointing a rifle at a student. Between the 3 of us, we ended up firing multiple rounds and taking the suspect down.
The armed gunman dead at the end of his rampage.
The gunman killed in the shootout has now been identified as John Zawari.
To this day, I actually believe that I was meant to be there.
3 months before the shooting, Bottenfield taught library staff how to survive an active shooter situation. When the gunman walked into the library, students and staff ran to a safe room. They locked the door and got down on the floor.
Miraculously dodging bullets, the gunman fired through the walls.
Each of them will tell you, very humbly, the same thing. They were just doing their jobs.
Bottenfield was off duty, armed with only a handgun, searching for the shooter. President Obama awarded him a Medal of Valor for his bravery.
All these things are going on. You're being recognized.
Bottenfield carries the honor with him, along with the weight of what he saw.
I was just stunned that day. Next morning, woke up, had a cup of coffee, turned on the news, and the first thing I see is Carlos's picture. And at that point, I just lost it.
Over the years, the pain has become more manageable. But on the 6th anniversary of the rampage, the memories remain clear.
Circumstances didn't allow us to save all of them, but we went and did our job and did the best we could. And because of that, a lot of other people were not hurt.
After the incident, Bottenfield got involved with teaching counterterrorism programs to protect the community. He joined the Santa Monica College Police Department in 2009 and moved to Central Texas about 6 months ago, shortly after he retired.